This game was a big part of my childhood. Me and my sister literally consumed the GTMO disc by playing hours and hours and hours, and the formula was simple but interesting. You start with a low budget, buy a car, usually a used car that could as well be your mom's old car, race, gain licenses, gain money, and progress forward into the game. What really made this game fun was the fact that you weren't getting a awesome, great, shiny car from the get-go. I mean, you could do that in your arcade disc, but meh. In the Gran Turismo mode, you were just a random person with some money in the bank that wanted to race, and it went forward from there. And that's what made the Gran Turismo formula click, in my opinion. The lack of that has made Gran Turismo Sport a bad game for me. But we are not here to talk about the game itself, we are here to talk about a detail of the game, the soundtracks. The Gran Turismo saga has always had some really peculiar soundtracks, and I'm not talking about the race ones, those are great in the NTSC version because we Europeans got this. I'm talking about the menu music, and it's some kind of fusion jazz that really gets stuck into your head and you end up whistling it even when doing, I don't know, your dishes. Let me give you a demonstration of this. You start the game and this is the main menu music. There is also different music for the different cities. For example, this is East City. North City. West City. And finally, South City. This is the garage music, the save and load music, the license music, and the Go Race music. These were the themes that were most stuck in my head since they were the ones I most listened while playing the game, being in the menus, and you can find all of this music on YouTube and that's great, but it's compressed and I wanted to find a way to listen to a good quality version of this. So I straight up looked for the Gran Turismo 2 OST CD, and the good news is that it actually exists, well, 3 of them actually. But it's a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. Most of the music in there is actually race music, which is good, but I did really want some menu music, and there is someone in there with different names. From the east is, for example, is City, and it sounds glorious. We do even have a vocal version which just screams Japanese 90s. There is also the garage music, the license music, the Go Race music, and the winning music. And all of these sound just extremely clear and gorgeous in their CD versions. But what about the other ones? We are still missing some OST, and since they are not here, I just thought, well, let's extract them from the game disc. Turns out it is not that easy. All the menu music is not stored in music files like MP3s or WAVs, but it is actually reproduced using samples program to play the various tracks, and we still haven't figured out how to turn those into MIDI files. We have done that with a lot of other games. For example, Nintendo 64 games. We have even done that with the Wii channels music. I do have a MIDI version of the Wii Shop that I can edit as much as I want. But for Gran Turismo, no luck yet. I did also look for the individual authors that made these songs for Polyphony Digital, but I didn't actually find the missing tracks anywhere. Even though this led me to a really interesting discovery. A lot of this music is made by Masashiro Ando, the leader of the Square. Now, you may not be familiar with them, so let's give you a crash course. They are a really big and influential jazz fusion band. They are so big that they influenced Koji Kondo when making music for Nintendo games, and here's some examples of that. This is Adventures, a 1984 album by T-Square, and let's just listen to some snippets of it. Jubilee from this album is just a Mario Kart track soundtrack. That sounds weird. So we have at least discovered that, and I do hope that in all this odyssey of me looking for a decent version of some music, I did at least made you discover some nice music. And if any of you does indeed have a HQ version of the missing OST songs, that would be great. Just post here in the comments, since I am really interested in that. But for the time being, this was all I have to say about the Gran Turismo 2 OST. Thanks for watching.